Today, I'm not here to entertain. Today, we're doing an experiment that defines an era. Let's see if artificial intelligence can create an expert advisor or if this is still a job that needs to be done by a human. No marketing, no illusions, no glossy demos, just reality, markets, and code, all in real time. Today, I'm asking ChatGPT to create an expert advisor, my nighttime expert for the NASDAQ. So a very easy, very simple expert. If it really works, then the rules of the game change. And if it doesn't work, we'll see why. This, of course, is the part the gurus don't want you to understand. Welcome, everyone. I'm Andrea, your automated trader. And if you like what I do, leave a nice like on the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future content. Here, I'm not starting off complicated. I'm not starting with a Monte Carlo or a multi-level architecture. We're starting with a simple expert that's easy to create. The rules for the expert are very clear, and I've already talked about them in a previous video. Basically, the expert enters a position at a certain hour during the night and keeps the position open until the opening of the American markets. Obviously, the position is only long, and we can only make one trade per day. We also exclude Fridays. Then we also add a filter based on the closing of the daily candles, considering the last two closed candles. So an expert that, as you can see, has just a few simple and clear rules. For years, they've told you that programming is the barrier. Today, we're testing the promise of artificial intelligence. Write a prompt and get an expert advisor. Ready to use. Let's see if it's true. All right, we're on chat. What do? Let's enter our text to create the expert advisor. I've already written the text myself so as not to waste time in this video. So let's paste it in and see what I wrote. You need to create an EA for MT5. Done like this. In the input, there must be the risk per trade as a percentage of the available account balance. The stop loss as a percentage of the price, obviously. A time to open the trade and a time to close the position. The magic number to assign to the EA and the trade comment. Just like we did in my expert, right? In the one I showed in a video some time ago. The EA must use a fixed magic number to recognize only its own positions. Clear. The EA must open one long position per day because we want to make one trade per day. When the closing time comes, it must close all positions with that magic number and do nothing else until the next day. Before opening a trade, it must check that there are no positions already open with the same magic number. This is what allows you to open only one position per day, right? The EA must not have a take profit because here we don't use take profit. On Fridays, it cannot trade. This was one of the conditions I also set in my expert advisor. And then there's a filter. I can only make a trade if the close of the last daily bar is lower than the close of the previous bar. Very simple, a foolproof EA. Really just 4 concepts, that's it. Let's see if we can generate it. So first, let's see what it replied to us with. It gave us our EA with what we asked for. So the daily condition that it can only open if the close of bar 1 is lower than bar 2, exactly as I had done myself. It shuts all positions at closing and ensures none exist before opening. Let's check the code. Then we see that it wrote out all the code. Now I'm not going to read through it all. It seems longer than what I wrote, but that's not important. What matters to us is whether it works or not. So if you want, I can also give you 2 other useful variants, like times as a string, but we're not interested in that. 1 trade per day per symbol instead of per magic. No, because we want to make 1 trade for each magic, that is for our magic number, not per symbol. Let's copy the code and go compile it in MetaTrader. We've opened MetaTrader. Let's go to this button labeled IDE. File new. And let's create an expert advisor. Let's continue. What should we call it? Why don't we go ahead and call this Beautiful Night? Chat, so we know it's the one created by Chat. Then the title, the name, give it whatever you like. It doesn't matter. Let's continue. Okay, we have our new file. Select everything and paste the code that Chat gave us. Let's compile and see if it works. Okay, we have some errors. So let's take a screenshot of this part and try to send it to chat. We paste our screenshot and tell it we have these errors. Fix them. I want a complete code. So give me the complete corrected code. As you can see, the code it's generating is much longer than the one I made in my expert, but what's important is that it works. Okay, it's done. Let's copy the code, go paste it, and compile. So let's select everything and change the code. Okay, and let's compile. Again, we have an error. Let's see where the error is. All right, let's copy the line with the error. I have the error on this line. All right, then, we need to go ahead and swap out this incorrect line with the correct version right here. Let's try this out now. Let's try to compile it, but it's still not working. So it's still not working. It's telling me undeclared identifier. Okay, it's done. Let's go copy the code, paste it, compile, and see if it works. Let's delete everything and paste again, then compile. Okay, it looks like it's working. This time we have successfully solved the issue. Now let's take a closer look to see if the expert advisor actually executes trades in the exact way we want it to. So let's navigate over to our MetaTrader platform, open up the strategy tester window, and give it a thorough try to see the results. Night chart, here it is. Let's select OS 100. Let's take a look. So what did it set as input? So we have risk per trade. Okay, just as we asked, and let's leave it at 1%. The stop is fine. Loss. If I remember correctly, I set it to 5%. Opening hour server time, great. So we use the server time, whichever we want. Let's set 1 and 5 just like we did in our expert. Close hour, server time, perfect. 15:30 at market opening time. Then we have our magic number and the name we give to the trade comment. What we asked for, it did in the input. Now the most important thing, let's look at the settings. Here we'll set a shorter period. Maybe let's do a visual test and see if this expert really works or not. Let's see what has been programmed. So we can see there's a trade here. At what time was the trade opened? We opened it at 1:05 at night, so it seems correct. Let's also check on the daily chart. How were the candles? So let's set the regular candles. Yes, the condition regarding the two closings was met. So this, it seems it did it correctly. The stop loss is 5%, so it works. And the buy, of course, is calculated on this 5% because we have a lot size of 0.12, and that's reasonable. So it seems correct to me. Let's see if it closes at the right time. All right, let's go to the history. Let's see what time it was closed. 15:30? Perfect, it did exactly what we asked. So it seems like it works. Let's close. And let's try to run a test and check a period, maybe a bit long from 2020, and see what happens. No, something isn't working. Let's try a visual test and see if we can figure out what's not working. So here it got stuck and blew the account. All right, let's try running a test from 2021, for example, up to today. We'll leave the same input data and see what happens. We can see that things are going very badly, so probably something didn't work correctly in the programming. Okay, let's stop here for now because we're having a few too many problems with this expert we've created. The bot is running, but it's not executing things the way we asked it to. It's doing something completely wrong. The lot calculation is incorrect and the logic is not what we requested. And the money management obviously has some issues and isn't working properly. This isn't just a detail, it's actually the difference between a toy and a functioning expert advisor. So GitChat is perfect for writing syntactically correct code, that's true. But it's still not able to write us an expert advisor that works based on what we've told it. Building an expert, of course, isn't just about writing correct code. There's an entire logic behind it that needs to be implemented. Writing an expert advisor means understanding how to calculate risk consistently, how to translate that risk into actual lots, how the broker reacts, and how to avoid opening incorrect positions. And of course, how to protect the user's money. These, of course, are not just lines of code, but engineering applied to trading. Today, artificial intelligence is truly an incredible tool. It can help you write functions, it saves you a lot of time, and when you don't know something, it gives you a hint. Maybe just the one you need to move forward, to build, to program, without wasting too much time reading the help documentation. So it can give you a lot of useful ideas. But of course, it doesn't design systems, it doesn't sense the market, and it doesn't understand the risk you need to apply in trading. And as long as that's the case, obviously someone will be needed who knows how to do all these things. You need skills that can be found in a prompt. You need experience in the markets, an understanding of risk, and the ability to think in terms of systems. In short, years of testing, battles, mistakes, and experience. You still need an expert advisor designer. In short, you still need someone like Andrea. Let's put it that way. When artificial intelligence reaches the level where it can do all of this, then yes, we'll all know it and everything will become easier. Until then, expert advisors aren't born from a command prompt, but still come from a person's mind. If you found this video helpful, send it to a friend on WhatsApp because that's how money goes around.